Welcome to What If by Curious Depth World. In this episode, what if dinosaurs had survived? Earth. 66 million years ago. Before the first human ever drew breath. A planet so ancient, so vast, it barely knew we were coming. This was a world ruled by giants, creatures so massive, so powerful, that the very ground trembled beneath every single step they took. They had ruled for 165 million years, longer than humans have existed, by a factor of 1,000. And then, everything changed. In a single catastrophic moment, their world ended. But what if it didn't? What if the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs missed? What would Earth look like today? Who or what would rule this planet right now? Today we are going on a journey, 66 million years into the past, and forward into an alternate present. To understand what might have been, we first need to understand what was. We need to go back, way back, to the late Cretaceous period, 66 million years ago. The last chapter of the age of dinosaurs, a world at its absolute peak, right before everything went dark. The Cretaceous Earth was dramatically different. Global temperatures ran 8 to 10 degrees warmer than today. No polar ice caps existed, anywhere. The continents were still tearing apart. North America split by a vast inland sea. Europe, a chain of tropical islands. The world, unrecognizable. Carbon dioxide was 4 to 8 times higher than today. The air was thick and rich. Plants grew massive. Every living thing fed on a reckless, beautiful abundance. In this warm, wet world, life had found every corner, every niche, and sitting at the very top of it all, the dinosaurs, the Tyrannosaurus rex, the apex predator of its age, 12 meters long, 6 metric tons, the most powerful land predator this planet has ever produced. It could smell blood from over a kilometer away. Its bite force, stronger than any animal alive today. Nothing challenged it. Nothing dared to try. But recent science shows T-Rex wasn't just a killing machine. Evidence suggests they were social, possibly caring parents, nurturing young in carefully made nests. The Triceratops, 9 meters long, as heavy as an African elephant, 3 massive horns, and a bone frill that could intimidate predators twice its size. They were the T-Rex's primary prey, and its most dangerous enemy. Fossil evidence shows brutal battles between these two titans, but true size belonged to the sauropods. The titanosaurs stretched 30 meters long, longer than 3 school buses end to end. They consumed hundreds of kilograms of vegetation every single day. Their feeding shaped entire landscapes. Forests rose and fell around their enormous, patient presence. Then there were the raptors, smaller, but terrifyingly intelligent. Pack hunters. They could coordinate attacks with a precision that bordered on strategy. And here is something Hollywood almost never shows you. Most dinosaurs had feathers. Not scales, feathers. Colorful, complex, spectacular plumage on the deadliest creatures alive. Above this world, pterosaurs dominated the skies. The Quetzalcoatlus had a wingspan of 11 meters. As wide as a small aircraft, the oceans were something else, entirely. No place for the faint-hearted. The Mosasaurus, 17 meters of pure ocean terror. And where were our ancestors in all of this? Hiding, literally hiding. Small, mouse-sized mammals squeezed into dark burrows, emerging only at night. They were the ultimate underdogs. 65 million years spent being invisible, surviving by not being noticed. The forests of this world were extraordinary. Towering conifers, giant ferns. It was a complete, balanced, ancient ecosystem. Every creature had its role. The abelisaurids, horn-headed, stub-armed predators, unlike anything found in the north. In Africa, massive Spinosaurus stalked the great rivers. Longer than T-Rex. A fish hunter. A swimmer. Asia produced some of the most bizarre dinosaurs ever found. Feathered giants, four-winged gliders, creatures that blur every line between dinosaur and bird. Recent research suggests dinosaurs communicated in ways we never imagined. Hadrosaurs had hollow head crests, biological trumpets producing deep, resonant calls across vast distances. Hadrosaur herds migrated in the millions, like wildebeest on the Serengeti, but bigger. At night, the world transformed. Small feathered dinosaurs hunted insects by moonlight, and in the deepest shadows, those small mammals, watching. Far away, massive volcanic eruptions in India had been warming the planet for millions of years. The world was already under pressure, before the asteroid ever appeared in the sky. This volcanism was already stressing some dinosaur populations. Certain species were already struggling, slowly declining. But most groups were still thriving, still diversifying, still evolving spectacular new forms. The age of dinosaurs was still, in full, extraordinary creative bloom. And on one particular morning, 66 million years ago, it was just another day. The sun rose. The giants fed. The world turned. T-Rex hunted at the forest edge. Pterosaurs lifted off from high cliffs. Young raptors played in the ferns. Everything normal, but in the darkness of space, something had been falling for thousands of years. A rock the size of a small city, 10 kilometers wide, moving at 20 kilometers per second. It had drifted in the asteroid belt for billions of years. Then something nudged it. To understand that scale, Mount Everest is 8.8 kilometers tall. Now imagine a mountain, flying through space, aimed at your planet. As it entered the inner solar system, it began to glow. Friction heating its surface to thousands of degrees. A new star appeared in the daytime sky, getting brighter, getting larger. Animals sensed something. Herds grew restless without knowing why. The ground vibrated strangely. The air changed. Some ancient instinct said, "Run." In the final seconds, the asteroid hit the atmosphere and vaporized into plasma. The sky blazed white, brighter than the sun, brighter than anything alive had ever seen. At 70 times the speed of sound, the rock tore through the atmosphere. The air itself compressed into a wall of superheated plasma hundreds of kilometers wide. The impact site, the Yucatán Peninsula, modern-day Mexico, a region of shallow, sulfur-rich limestone. The single worst location on Earth for an asteroid to strike. And it struck there. Scientists calculated that only 13% of Earth's surface would have caused this level of catastrophic sulfur release. Surface of the sun. The shockwave traveled the entire planet in minutes. Earthquakes erupted simultaneously on every continent. Mountains cracked. Volcanoes dormant for millennia, suddenly, violently awakened. Billions of tons of molten rock were hurled into space. They reached orbit, then fell back. Every continent on Earth simultaneously struck by flaming debris raining from the sky. The falling debris superheated the global atmosphere. Within hours, surface temperature spiked worldwide. Every exposed living thing on land began to cook. Simultaneously, everywhere, all at once. In the Gulf of Mexico, a tsunami 300 meters tall raced outward at the speed of a jet aircraft. Nothing on any coastline for thousands of kilometers survived. Within 24 hours, vast regions of Earth's forests were burning. Smoke and ash climbed into the stratosphere. And then, slowly, relentlessly, the darkness came. The Yucatán rock was rich in sulfur. Hundreds of billions of tons of sulfur dioxide blasted into the upper atmosphere, and sulfur dioxide reflects sunlight. All of it. The sun disappeared. Not for days. Not for weeks. Months of total darkness. In some regions, years. The sky was black at noon. Everywhere, all at once. The sulfur mixed with water vapor and became sulfuric acid. It rained acid globally for months. The oceans began to acidify. Coral and shells dissolved. The sea turned against itself. Within 1 year, global temperatures had dropped by 15 degrees Celsius. The tropical paradise of the Cretaceous, frozen. Not gradually, almost overnight, geologically speaking. Without sunlight, photosynthesis stopped. Plants died. First the smallest, then the largest. When plants die, every animal that depends on them follows. The chain breaks from the bottom. The great hadrosaur herds, the titanosaur giants. Without food, within months, they began to die. Millions of years of evolution, ending quietly in the dark, in the cold. The carnivores lasted slightly longer. They ate the dead. Then they too ran out. The T-Rex, Earth's mightiest predator, starved to death. Slowly, silently, in the dark. In the oceans, acidification killed the plankton. Plankton supports all ocean life. Without plankton, the entire ocean food chain collapsed from the very bottom up. Total marine catastrophe. The great mosasaurs, the plesiosaurs, the marine reptiles that had ruled the seas for 100 million years. Gone. Every ocean, simultaneously. The seas fell absolutely silent. 75% of all species on Earth went extinct. 3 out of every 4 species, gone. In geological terms, instantly. The worst day in Earth's 4 billion-year history. And then, silence. The bellowing of the dinosaurs, filling this world for 165 million years, gone. Replaced by nothing. Just wind. Just cold. Just ash. But not everything died. The survivors shared one critical trait. They were small. Small enough to find food in total darkness. Small enough to burrow underground. Small enough to wait it out. The birds, technically dinosaurs themselves, survived. Small bodies. Seed-eating habits that worked even in near darkness. And the ability to fly away from the worst conditions. Crocodilians survived, slowing metabolism to near zero, going months without food, lurking in dying rivers, eating whatever fell in. Patient, ancient, relentless. They had outlasted everything before. And those tiny mammals, those small, warm-blooded, shadow-dwelling creatures who had survived in darkness for 65 million years. They made it through, and they made US possible. 10,000 years later, the first green shoots pushed through ash. A single fern frond uncurled in pale, thin sunlight. Life, stubborn, impossible life, refused to surrender. 1 million years passed. 2 million. Forests slowly regrew. Different forests. Oceans refilled with different creatures. Earth rebuilt itself. And this time, the story belonged to someone new. Freed from the shadow of the dinosaurs, mammals exploded. In just 10 million years, the blink of an eye, they grew from mouse-sized to horse-sized, then elephant-sized, then larger. 50 million years after the impact, the first primates emerged. Tree-dwelling, big-eyed, grasping hands, the branch of the mammal tree that would eventually, improbably, become us. Every link in that chain required the one before it. Remove the asteroid, remove everything that followed, including you. This was the real world. Now, let's break it apart. Here is the key scientific fact. Had the asteroid struck deep ocean rock instead of shallow Yucatán limestone, the sulfur release would have been a fraction of the darkness, a fraction of the death. Only 13% of Earth's surface would have triggered catastrophic sulfur release. That means there was an 87% chance this could have gone completely differently. We exist because of a 13% probability. So, the asteroid comes. Same size, same speed, but this time aimed at the deep Atlantic. 4 miles of deep water instead of shallow limestone. Everything changes. Right now, the asteroid hits the deep Atlantic with catastrophic force. A mountain of water explodes miles into the sky. Shockwaves race the globe, but no sulfur, no planet-wide killing winter. Without shallow, sulfur-rich rock, no global acid cloud. Without an acid cloud, the darkness lasts weeks, not years. Brutal, yes, devastating to coastlines, but not the end of everything. The tsunamis are 300 meters tall, catastrophic for any coast. But interior continents, miles inland, violent earthquakes, but not extinction. Not the permanent, killing darkness. Without the sulfur cloud, the darkness lasts weeks, maybe months, and then, slowly, the skies begin to clear. Weak sunlight returns. The plants begin to recover. Life holds on. And in the protected interior of the continents, the dinosaurs survive, reduced, damaged, struggling. But enough breeding populations make it through. The great dynasty endures. The first decade after the ocean impact is brutal. Reduced sunlight kills many plants. Millions of animals die. But the dominant dynasties, the great families of dinosaurs, hold on. T-Rex survives. Populations are sharply reduced. Many individuals perish. But enough breeding pairs make it through. The apex predator of the Cretaceous endures. The hadrosaurs persist in large numbers. Their sheer population before the impact protected them. Even losing 90% of individuals, enough survive to rebuild the herds within generations. Over thousands of years, the ecosystem rebuilds. Plants regrow. Herbivores rebound. With food available again, predator numbers climb back. The Cretaceous world slowly, painfully, heals itself. But the mammals, nothing changes for them. Still small, still nocturnal, still hiding, the dinosaurs fill every large ecological role. The door the mammals needed never opens. With no mass extinction to empty the ecological niches, mammals have nowhere to grow. Primates will never emerge. Great apes will never exist. We will never exist. Fast forward, 66 million years. We are in the present, year 2024, but in this timeline, there are no cities, no roads, no lights. The continents look mostly familiar, different coastlines, changed mountain ranges, but every inch covered in vast, untouched wilderness. Pristine, wild, teeming with life beyond imagining, and roaming those forests. Creatures you have never imagined. 66 million years separate them from their Cretaceous ancestors. They look nothing like what we expect. The descendants of T-Rex are unrecognizable. Some lineages shrunk, others specialized. Some developed elaborate feathered crests. Some sprint at 60 kilometers per hour on powerful hind legs. The ice ages still came and went, But these creatures adapted, growing dense, layered feather coats for insulation, warm-blooded behavior becoming more and more sophisticated over time. Imagine a creature with the power of a bear, the visual intelligence of a crow, covered in spectacular iridescent feathers. That is what 66 million years of dinosaur evolution in the alternate oceans, mosasaur descendants evolved to fill niches we gave to whales and dolphins, streamlined, some filter-feeding, some breaching. Not whales, but nature's same answer. The skies belong to descendants of pterosaurs, some the size of hang gliders, some small as sparrows. No birds as we know them, but extraordinary flying creatures in infinite variety. The forests are ancient beyond imagination, with no human logging, no agriculture. Trees that would dwarf California's redwoods. Some individual groves, tens of millions of years old, untouched. And here is the question scientists genuinely debate. After 66 million more years of evolution, would any dinosaur develop true intelligence? Would there be a thinking dinosaur? The best candidate would be Troodon, the most intelligent Cretaceous dinosaur we know. But intelligence needs more than a large brain. It needs precision hands, complex social bonds, symbolic communication, energy-rich diet, long development period. Dinosaurs had some, not necessarily all. Look at modern crows. Technically, dinosaurs. They make and use tools. They plan ahead. They recognize individual human faces, remember and hold grudges for years. And they've had only 66 million years. Given 200 million total years of dinosaur evolution, plus another 66 million of intense selection pressure, the emergence of a reasoning, planning dinosaur is not impossible. But intelligence alone does not mean civilization. Dolphins are intelligent. Elephants have culture. Crows use tools. None of them built cities. The gap between thinking and technology is enormous. The most likely scenario, this alternate Earth is pristine, wild and spectacularly alive, but it has no philosophers, no astronomers, no one looking up at the stars and wondering what they are. No Beethoven, no Shakespeare, no Newton, no one to discover gravity, to write poetry, to paint the Sistine Chapel, to cure disease, to ask why and spend a lifetime finding out. But also no wars, no pollution, no extinction crisis, no plastic in every ocean, no industrial climate change, a healthier planet, a wilder planet, a planet in perfect ancient balance. The alternate oceans teem with life we cannot dream of. No overfishing, no dead zones, coral reefs covering vast regions of seafloor. The ocean, alive, complex, achingly beautiful. The ancient forests, cathedrals of living time, species that interlock in ways taking millions of years to form, ecosystems of depth and complexity no human scientist ever mapped or named. So which world is better? A pristine planet of spectacular but unaware life? Or our world, damaged, yes, but conscious, capable of wonder, capable of asking, what if? This is perhaps the deepest question evolution forces us to face. Is consciousness itself, the universe becoming aware of its own existence, worth the cost we impose on this planet? Astronomer Carl Sagan called us star stuff that had taken its destiny into its own hands. In the alternate timeline, there are no hands reaching for anything. The stars remain untouched. We are the universe's way of looking at itself. We are matter, ancient matter, that asks questions about matter. Without us, the universe remains beautiful, but entirely, permanently blind. We owe our existence to catastrophe, to a rock that hit exactly the wrong place at exactly the right time, to 66 million years of surviving adapting, climbing toward something new. The asteroid that killed the dinosaurs was our origin story, our genesis. Without mass extinction, no mass awakening of consciousness, the worst day in history made today possible. This means our existence is extraordinarily fragile. We exist because of one unlikely impact, in an unlikely location, on an unlikely planet, in an unlikely corner of an unlikely universe. And that means protecting this planet matters more than we often act like it does. We are the unlikely, improbable outcome. The universe's one known shot at self-awareness. We cannot waste it. Here is something beautiful. Every atom that built every dinosaur is still on Earth, still cycling through soil, through plants, through animals, through you. You are made, in part, of dinosaur. Some dinosaurs are still here. Every bird you see, every crow, every eagle, every pigeon, every tiny sparrow is a living, breathing, flying dinosaur. Evolution just changed the packaging. Scientists found that bird DNA retains echoes of ancient dinosaur genes. When researchers blocked certain developmental genes in chicken embryos, the chicks began to grow teeth. Dinosaur teeth. The past never fully disappears. It hides inside the present, waiting to be found. The dinosaurs are in birds. The Cretaceous ocean is in salt water. Deep time is everywhere around us. So here is the full picture. A 13% probability played out. The asteroid hit the worst possible location. Dinosaurs died. Mammals exploded. Primates rose. We were born. In the alternate, dinosaurs survive, adapt, and 66 million years later rule a wilder, healthier, more spectacular but quieter planet. No one to read this. No one to wonder at it. The lesson might simply be this. Existence is not guaranteed. Life is not an inevitability. It is an unlikely gift. And consciousness, the rarest thing in a universe of trillions of worlds, is almost miraculous. Given that we exist against extraordinary odds, the correct response is wonder and responsibility to protect this rare, unlikely, precious, violent, beautiful world that paid such a cost to make us possible. Ironically, we now face our own asteroid threat. Today, we track near-Earth objects carefully. The dinosaurs had no warning. We have the intelligence, and now the technology, to protect what they couldn't. For the first time in Earth's history, one species can see a threat approaching from space, and potentially stop it. The dinosaurs couldn't do this. We can. That is an extraordinary responsibility. Let us return one more time to the alternate world. Because 66 million years of uninterrupted dinosaur evolution would produce wonders that stretch our imagination to its absolute limits. At the poles, massive feathered dinosaurs evolved specifically for cold. Think polar bear strength combined with crow-level intelligence, covered in dense, layered, iridescent plumage. Magnificent and terrifying. In the great deserts, dinosaur descendants evolved scales minimizing water loss, internal cooling systems, ambush hunting strategies perfectly adapted to vast, silent, scorching landscapes. In the deepest alternate oceans, bioluminescent mosasaur descendants hunt in absolute darkness, enormous, silent, adapted to pressures that would crush any vessel humans have ever constructed. The alternate coral reefs extend for thousands of kilometers, with no overfishing, no warming, no pollution, reefs that dwarf any structure on Earth today, color beyond any human palate. On isolated islands, dinosaur evolution went to strange extremes: miniaturization, giant slow forms, bizarre specialist feeders unlike anything else alive. Islands are evolution's laboratories, and they've had 66 million years. The forests, trees that would take 100 humans linking hands to encircle, canopies high enough to create their own weather systems. Evidence suggests some Cretaceous dinosaurs were already evolving cooperative behaviors. In the alternate world, complex social structures might emerge. Dinosaur communities with division of labor, rudimentary culture. 66 million years of pressure to communicate more effectively could produce extraordinary results. Complex vocalizations, color-changing skin displays. The key civilizational technology is fire. No evidence suggests any dinosaur ever controlled fire, but given enough time, with enough intelligence, and enough pressure from cold climates, perhaps. Fire changed everything for us. Cooking food freed jaw muscles, allowing our skulls to expand, growing our brains. Fire triggered an intelligence cascade. Without fire, no civilization. For anyone, if a dinosaur species discovered fire 60 million years ago, the universe might have seen its first non-mammalian civilization. Technology, art, science, but alien to everything we call civilization. Or perhaps not. Perhaps intelligence without hands evolved precisely for manipulation, without our specific neurological architecture, simply cannot cross that threshold. Evolution has no destination, no goal, no plan. It responds to pressure. It experiments endlessly. The results, always astonishing, never predictable. What we know for certain, without that asteroid impact, you are not here. Your specific existence, reading this, thinking this, wondering about this, required exactly what happened on that day. Every moment of human curiosity, every painting, every equation, every story, every discovery, exists because 66 million years ago, a rock hit limestone at a 45-degree angle. You might call it luck. You might call it fate. Whatever you call it, the right response to this knowledge might simply be gratitude. Deep, genuine, overwhelming gratitude for existing at all. And action, because we are the unlikely guardians of the only known conscious world. The responsibility to protect this planet, this accident, this miracle, falls to us. Only us. No one else is coming. The dinosaurs left us more than fossils. They left us their living descendants, the birds. They left us the ecological reset that made us possible. They are the reason any of this exists. The next time a crow watches you from a wire, it is a dinosaur. Its ancestors watched the asteroid fall. In some sense, the dinosaurs never left. They just changed shape. Feathers, which we see on every bird alive, were first grown by dinosaurs millions of years before birds existed. We live in a world still shaped by dinosaur inventions, every single day. But here is the uncomfortable mirror this holds up. We are currently driving a mass extinction of our own. Human activity has eliminated 60% of wildlife populations in just 50 years. Scientists call it the sixth mass extinction. This time, there is no asteroid. There is only us. We are the asteroid. And we alone have something the dinosaurs never had: a choice. The dinosaurs could not stop what killed them. We can stop what is threatening our world. We have the brains, we have the technology, we have the knowledge. The only question is, will we use them? Because consciousness, the thing the alternate world never had, is also our greatest weapon against extinction. We can see the problem. We can name it. We can solve it, if we choose to. The story of the dinosaurs teaches us. Extinction does not warn you. It does not negotiate. It does not offer second chances. We are in a rare window where prevention is still possible. But let us not end on fear. let us end on what this entire thought experiment truly gives us. Wonder. Absolute, overwhelming wonder that any of this happened at all, that we are here on a clear night. Look up. You are looking at the same sky the T-Rex once looked at, the same Milky Way, the same stars. But you, unlike the Rex, know what they are. If Earth's history was compressed to a single year, humans appear at 11:58 on December 31st. The dinosaurs ruled from March to late December. We are the final 2 minutes. In those 2 minutes, we discovered DNA. We landed on the moon. We built the internet. We looked back at Earth from space and saw for the first time how small and precious it really is. The story is not over. If we are wise, if we are careful, we could shape this planet for millions of years to come. We could be not the end of something, the beginning of everything. If a T-Rex could somehow see us now, the small, upright, strange little mammals who took over, building cities, making music, asking what if? What would it think? What would it feel? It would see only prey or threat. It would not understand us. But that is the point, we think, for both of us now. We carry the wonder. We ask the questions. For everything that came before, every bone in the ground, every bird in the sky, every atom in your body, all of it once lived in the age of giants. We are what the dinosaurs became. In time. Against all odds. Existence is improbable. Consciousness is almost impossible. And yet, here you are. Here we all are. The universe somehow produced something capable of asking, what if? That is the real miracle. The dinosaurs did not disappear. They transformed. 66 million years of pressure, cold, change, and adaptation. And here they are, in every bird that has ever sung. The giants never left. That is the full story of what might have been, and what it means for what is. Thank you for wondering with us. See you in the next video, when we ask another impossible question.